Hey, what's up guys? This is Christian Bruno with Six Figure Medicare Agent. Hope this video finds you doing well. And we're back with another video. Today guys, we're going to be talking to you about insurance agent conferences, my opinion on them, and what you really need to know. No fluff whatsoever. Let's just get right into that. But before we do that, I got to talk to you guys about my favorite telemarketing lead company. And that's of course Lead Heroes, the sponsor of this video. Lead Heroes has got you covered when it comes to telemarketing leads, whether it be final expense leads, Medicare supplement leads, Turn 65 leads. They really got you covered, and they are really the place that you want to go anytime you're looking for telemarketed leads. They kind of own that sector. Just because you watch this video, you guys, they're going to give you 10% off any order you make on their website. The link to the site can be found down in the description of this video, along with the coupon code that will give you 10% off discount. So go ahead and check them out. So guys, let's have a conversation about conferences, okay? So that you're going to find that people are going to be usually on two very different ends of the spectrum when it comes to conferences. Some people swear by them. Some people think that they're absolutely fantastic for you to do and attend. And then there's other people that think that they're the worst thing of all time. There's no value. They're just a money grab. So where's the truth in all this? Well, in my opinion, I think that it's one of those situations where the truth can lie, depending on the conference, somewhere in the middle, right? I think that there can be value, but I also think that there can be things that you got to watch out for if you're attending, in my opinion, when it comes to the conference. So I'm going to try to be as objective and honest about this and about my true feelings as I possibly can. So let's just kind of jump right into this conference, okay? So the main criticism of conferences is that people get up on stage and they pitch the audience a program, a workshop, a retreat, something along those lines, and it might be like $25,000, and if you get it today, it'll be $8,000 or something like that until the end of the day, right? Something along those lines. So is that okay? Well, this is the kind of way we got to look at this. So there's really, first off, we got to look at it from the perception of the speaker. Right? In my opinion, there's three reasons why a person would get up on stage and speak. And there's typically three different scenarios that you're going to find with this situation. Number one, it's their conference, right? It's their event, it's their conference. They want it to be good, so they're going to get up on stage, right? So that's always in there in some kind of capacity. The person that's actually hosting the event might be up on stage speaking. So like we're hosting a conference ourselves. So of course, I come from the end of the spectrum where I'm hosting a conference next June 10th and 11th here in Salt Lake City called the Six Figure Medicare Agent Summit. We've done plenty of videos about this. I'm sure most of you guys know about this already. But we have some great speakers. I'm going to be speaking myself because it's my conference. I want to make it good, right? So number one, it might be their event, might be good branding for them, something along those lines. Number two, they might have paid to get on stage. Right? They might have paid somebody to get on stage to speak, and they might have paid some huge amounts of money. Some conferences are charging people $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 for you to spend an hour on the stage. And it might be a very large crowd that you're getting out in front of, that person's getting out in front of. So they're looking at it from the perspective that they need to recoup the money that they spent to get on stage. If not recoup the money, make a profit. The third scenario probably would be, and this is excluding people that would be, real large celebrities like huge motivational speakers, professional athletes. They're actually probably getting paid to come. It's probably a different kind of situation there. So this is excluding those. We're talking about the people that you're seeing on the stage that wouldn't be classified as like a household name celebrity when people outside of the insurance industry, okay? The third scenario that I would probably find is it's somebody that has such a large brand and such a large value proposition that they're speaking for free and they're doing it because it's a great branding move for them, right? It helps grow their brand and their buzz, and they actually bring value. So understanding that is going to help understand the pitch. Now, I see it from both sides, right? I see it from both sides. I feel like if you are getting up there, if a speaker is getting up there and they're giving value first, and they're giving a tremendous amount of value in order to do that, right? If they're bringing a lot of helpful information to the table, they spend 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes of their hour-long talk giving a lot of good information, and then they spend the final 10 minutes of maybe pitching you on a program of theirs, as long as it's not something like that's ridiculous. I think that that's okay. Now, can these people that go up there and pitch make a lot of money? Yes, they can, but I'm looking at it from what is your value proposition in the audience, not the value proposition of the person that's on the stage, right? I'm sure they can make a lot of money. Is it the best thing for you for them to make a lot of money? Now, it can be a mutually beneficial transaction if you get value out of it, if you get value out of that proposition there. So that's where I have a problem, is when people go up on stage and from the moment they get on stage, it's one big pitch, or they give some just gargly goop crap information. I think if you have nothing to say and only something to sell, then I think you are a charlatan, in my opinion. I have no problem with people pitching something. I really don't have a problem with it. I have courses, I have books, I have programs, I have all kinds of things. I don't have a problem with that, but I believe that you should be giving 90% more than you're asking. I believe that you should give a value proposition first and give them a little bit of a sneak peek on what they might be getting in your program. Because let's face it, there's really very few programs out there that you can condense all of your material and all of your information on an hour-long time slot on a stage, right? So it's reasonable for them to essentially, if maybe they go up and they provide great value and they're giving you a little bit of a pre-look on what they teach and what their philosophies are, that then they're like, hey, if you enjoyed this, you can get a lot more of it for a cost. I don't feel like that's such a bad value proposition in my opinion. But when there's no value proposition first, I think that's when you're going to struggle. I think that's when you're going to have problems. And I think that's where something, can have issues. There was actually a conference I went to this year where there were several, workshops being promoted and things like this being promoted. They weren't giving dates on when these were going to actually take place, and sometimes they were 3 weeks workshops, 4 weeks workshops, so a pretty good time commitment for the people that were investing into the program. They would not give dates on when they were actually going to take place, and then when the dates actually came out a couple months later, after people had spent money and opened their wallets, it turned out that the dates were during AEP, which tells me that the people that are hosting it don't know anything about Medicare, or they don't care that you should be working during AEP and not doing a workshop. I'm sorry, that's for the other 10 months of the year. I think, and the other thing too, if someone doesn't understand your business enough to not host a workshop like that during AEP, do you really want to learn from them in the first place? I think that there's definitely a fine line when it comes to these pitches, but that's a big criticism that people have. What is the main value proposition of a conference, in my opinion? Well, I think the main value proposition is getting in a room with maybe 100, maybe 200, maybe 300, maybe 1,000 like-minded individuals in the same business as you, in the same industry as you, that understand your struggles. They understand what you go through on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of times you're in the room with people that are in the top 0.0001% of the industry, right? So my favorite part about 8% Nation, what I went to this year in Dallas, Texas, was there was definitely, I didn't love everything, I'll be honest with you, but my favorite part of it was that I got to spend time with people like Galen Hendricks, Medicare Bob, Bobby Beisch, Robert Beisch, Danielle Kunkel-Roberts of Boomer Benefits. These are people that are greats in the industry. And they go to these conferences, they instill wisdom on you, they spend time with you, and these are people I have relationships with and I've gotten to build relationships with over the years, which has been great. But getting in the room allows you to have those conversations, allows you to meet a lot of really cool people. We interviewed Eugene Marchenko on this channel about a couple of weeks, maybe a month ago. I met Eugene for the first time at 8%, and that was a really great time to be able to connect with Eugene. Eugene's someone that I've known from afar for a long time. Getting in the room, somebody who's got a lot of influence, got a lot of success, they could essentially put you in a position where they could instill one little nugget in you and it can change your entire business. To which you don't get that by talking to someone through email, over the phone, instant messenger. It's through face-to-face, belly-to-belly, eyeball-to-eyeball communication. Getting in the room has tremendous value. I've known people that go to some of these events and they go only for the after parties and the events afterward. They skip the entire conference because they get no value out of any of the speakers. Now, if you get no value out of any of the speakers, I don't know if I would go to the conference like that. If it's just a bunch of rah-rah. Some of you need the rah-rah. I think there should be maybe somewhat of a mixture of that in there, but I think I like to see nuts and bolts myself. I'm at a position where in my career where I don't necessarily need a lot of internal motivation. I don't need somebody to pump me up. I wake up motivated. And if you don't wake up motivated, there's some kind of issue there. You got to kind of figure that out. But getting in the room, in my opinion, is the most valuable part because it's those private conversations that end up making the biggest impact on your business, in my opinion. If I've also known people that go to the events, they go see the speakers, and then they stay in their room the rest of the night, and they don't go to the after parties. You're cheating yourself right there. That is the dumbest thing that you can possibly do. In my opinion, if it's a good conference, you should be able to go see speakers, get a lot of value out of those speakers, but then also attend the events afterward and be able to get a lot out of the events afterward, okay? So people that hate typically have not been to any of these conferences. And I see people hate for a myriad of reasons. Probably the number one reason is maybe they have their own conference they're trying to pump up, and they're like, oh, this conference sucks, come to my conference. If anyone is pitching you a conference is bad because you should come to my conference, understand right there they have an agenda and you should just completely throw their opinion away altogether, in my opinion. I've also seen other people that just say that they're just not valuable. We had Nicholas Frumpkin on this channel. We had a little bit of a conversation about this, maybe a little bit of a debate even about this because we have different opinions on this. And you know, he makes some good points, but at the same time, certain people haven't been to the events. So you really only see it from the outside looking in, and you just hear it firsthand. You don't really know what the experience is like, and for some people it can be life-changing and business-changing for your business. One thing I will tell you, guys, is a lot of the bigger conferences are going to try to sell you everything under the sun. If you tried to, you could probably spend $100,000 in upsells and still you wouldn't have bought everything that was being sold, right? So do not empty your bank account at these conferences. Just don't do it, right? You spent enough money to get there. You spent enough money for your ticket. Not saying that if you don't resonate with a speaker and you want to move forward with them in a program of some kind, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but don't feel like you have to empty your bank account to be successful. You don't. A good conference, you should be able to just buy a ticket, be in the room, and walk away from it and be able to apply a bunch of stuff in your business. If the conference is predicated around the fact that you have to pay to go to the conference, spend a bunch of money to go to the conference, plus you have to buy everybody's program on top of that, it's a bad conference and it's a crappy conference and it's probably not even worth going to, in my opinion. Anyway, guys, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about this. I know this is kind of a controversial topic. I'm going to plug the Six Figure Medicare Agent Summit as well. If you have not got your tickets to the Six Figure Medicare Agent Summit, let me know. Comment below. Why haven't you? Do you know about it? We got speakers like Justin Brock, Galen Hendricks, Justin Thomas, Glenn Shelton, Brad Hannon, Rebecca Davis, Lester Kahn and Agent Pipeline backing us on this event. We just got so many. Tracy Lonesberry, Shirley Kaufman. I know I'm going to leave somebody off. Josh Lustig. There's just so many amazing people that are going to be taking the stage and speaking at this event. We could not be more excited about it, and we hope to see you there in Salt Lake City for 2 days next June. Anyway, guys, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? If you do, drop a comment down below on what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear them. Drop a like in this video if you found it helpful, so it helps the algorithm reach more people just like you who need to hear our message. And make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're notified when we upload. And until next time, guys, here's to your success and your abundance. Thanks, guys.